I like the bread aisle.
So I like said this out loud the other day, like on accident, and then I was so fucking true. So like you see all these people doing like as seen on Instagram fucking exercises in the gym lately, like as seen on TV, as seen on Instagram. And it just like doesn't make sense to me as to like why you're not doing things that one are safe, two are specified to whatever your goals are, and three that just look like erratic that it's like, oh, let's try something new to fucking invent something new just to say that we did that
Hmm.
has no actual purpose. I see this a lot at my gym in particularly. Um, there's a lot of people that like are competitors, a lot of people that aren't even competitors that are just like very into training.
Yeah.
Their ability to actually make sensible programs and workouts and things that like make any fucking sense is very little. So I was just seeing this the other day as someone was doing split squats in a Smith machine, both feet on boxes that are wooden boxes that are like over a foot high each that slide. The fuck would you do that? Why? So you
I
can
could
see
understand like a little bit of that,
Yeah.
for like getting depth if the Smith machine was weird.
not if
Or
it's not stable, the boxes
yeah,
slide.
yeah.
So
I
you're not
can't
getting depth, you're getting depth.
They're working on their stability too. It's functional, okay?
yeah. Let's see how fast we can rip our groin. Got it.
Huh. Mm.
Like, yeah.
Ooh. I was on a belt squat once and the platform was metal.
I was there for that, Meg. I remember
You
that.
were there for
Yes,
that.
I witnessed it.
Yes. And do we put plates or did something risers?
They
Some
were
riser.
they were like these like little shit platforms.
Yeah. To like get more depth.
Mhm.
And I went down. Was it on the way up or was it on the way down? It was on the way up.
It was on the
And
way up because you went, "Ooh,"
yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like,
And I
"Ooh."
just split a little bit. Like I thought I pulled my groin.
The
That
amount
must
of
be the scariest
the
is
amount of
groin.
times you've almost like died at MI40, I'm glad you no longer train there. Like,
Yeah, quit that shit. I no hate to the gym. It's just every session that I was going in there and training, the 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 aura, I hate to make it sound so like granola-y, but like the aura, the vibe, it was so off. Like everybody is kind of like to themselves, which is fine. I get it.
mhm,
There are a lot of competitors there in prep, but I just felt like everybody was not very friendly anymore. The environment was crap. Like machines are broken all the time. I almost died in the Smith
mhm.
machine. And honestly, the equipment selection is not that great for $75 a month. I pay 100 now at the new Golds, and like they have a cold plunge, they're gonna have a sauna, like they have a functional space, which I'm not gonna use. They have nice equipment that's brand new, so it moves super smooth. It's just
Yeah.
a nice place, man. It's fucking nice. Yeah. But oh well. Like I still go to Optimum. I like it there. I like it there. Got all the booty stuff, so
No, I hear that. But to kind of go off like Laura's like topic, like there's so many reasons. I think first stems with just lack of understanding what muscles do or what's needed to grow. I think that could be an avenue. Um, Lack of just common sense as to like what's safe and unsafe when it comes to exercise setup and selection. And then lastly, what's new or shiny or hasn't been done before that can be marketed as, oh, I know the secret to your problem as to why like your glutes, for example, can't grow. And it's the booty band around the knees. Or it's that one exercise that just popped up randomly out of the blue like a few months back and we were like, what the fuck is this? Like it is the fact that we have such short attention spans when it comes to like our training, when it comes to being able to stick with the same programming and learning to master exercises, like that's just gone out the window. There's almost no pride anymore when it comes to how things are being done. So we're just like shooting a shotgun with birdshot and hoping something sticks.
yeah. Yeah, people just get bored easily.
Hmm.
And it's like you said, it's a lack of kind of knowledge around things because they see like so and so who has a big old booty or is like a top level pro doing some exercise using a band, reverse banded somehow, and they don't understand why, but they just do it because they did it. And
Hmm.
that's probably the way to do it. And it's like, no, you should utilize like things like bands or extra items, if you will, like risers and things like that for a reason for your physique, you know? Like, I don't know. Instagram is a cesspool of shit information, honestly. Yeah. That's why I always try to explain things. Like, I never want to just record myself doing something
Hmm.
because it looks cool and just post it with a cool little music in the back. Like, it's like explain what you're doing. Like,
Hmm.
actually provide content, you know?
And
But,
there's so many variations of exercises that a lot of it is dependent to the individual, like what
oh,
you're
yeah.
like something that you do is probably going to be totally different than what I would do because of the fact that you're so much taller than I
Yeah.
am, and I may need way less depth than you do because of what, or reverse, whatever the scenario
Mhm.
is for how things fit the individual. So like that's something to take into account, and also keeping your movements in the active range of motion. So like more isn't always better because sometimes
Hmm.
you're taking range of motion too far for certain exercises, and then you're no longer targeting the muscle you're intending to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're just like stressing out your tendons and ligaments at that point.
Yeah.
Fucking
Um,
up your hips.
that's right. Oh my God, preach. But I remember like with my first coach, it was a lot of everything had a band. Like I swear to God, like the amount of bands and stuff that I had to purchase and utilize for shit glutes. Like I had no ass on stage, and a lot of it was banded, and a lot of it was also sumo. And I know there's this big like debate as to whether or not sumo grows glutes. And at the end of the day, I had the worst glutes when I try to pull things with sumo because I wasn't getting the right engagement with those exercise setups. And I know there are some people that like preach by sumo, that's how they grew their butt, whatever. But at the end of the day, what has worked for me is being consistent with my programming, eating enough to facilitate growth, training really hard, and focusing on training the glutes in more of that lengthened, mid-lengthened position, like squats, lunge variations, RDLs, and yes, some hip thrusts, which train the more shortened position. But it has taken a really, really long time. And
Mhm.
people don't want to give that, right? They don't want to give time and effort and take pride in their work. They want things now and they want it to be flashy and fun. And while that might be great for, dopamine levels to be constantly happy all the time, enjoying your workouts, which I'm not saying you shouldn't, because you should, but like taking pride in your craft. And I feel like that's just kind of falling short because of things like social media.
Mhm. I
I think
agree.
I
No,
think you made a really good point of giving the list of things too that you've been doing that you feel have accumulated to being helpful, as opposed to it was just this. It's never just this. There's
Right.
always multiple things that are going to be the contributing factors to what elicit growth.
Mm-hmm. Like Meg, I know you got a question, I think yesterday on your Q&A about an exercise or a body part not growing. And you were like, oh, I would love to see like XYZ of these things.
yeah.
It was like form, it was exercise intensity, exercise selection. And I'm sure you probably mentioned nutrition, but even that's another variable to consider as a part of the whole. But the problem with human beings when it comes to troubleshooting problems is we're not willing just to change one variable and see what happens. It's
Mhm.
again, it's the shotgun approach. It's like hoping something to God sticks on the wall because it's difficult and it's hard to not see the change that you want when effort is applied.
Mhm. Yeah. And I mean, that person who asked that, it's like, I hate when people are so quick to say, like, oh, this body part won't grow. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, send me a send me your training. I can tell you exactly why. Send me your diet and I can tell you exactly why. You know, but they also think that they already know what they're doing. Like I have so many people who I coach, and it's still hard for me to get training footage from some of them. And that's such a bummer because technically that's like a free a la carte service that I offer. Like it's not, I give you your training, I give you the notes and the cues and all that, but it's technically not in my job description at first
Mhm,
to assess your training every single day that you go in the gym.
mhm.
You know, it's something that we have leveled up as coaches and realized, oh shit, like this is something that we really need to do because we're not there in person guiding these people. But it's just hard to really get them to send it. But kind of sucks.
Yeah, getting training footage is like pulling
Pulling
teeth.
teeth. Yeah.
It
It
is just,
is. It's
and
hard.
I understand to some capacity if it's like a gym rule, because there are some gyms like Planet Fitness. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
nah, like there's just no flexibility. And then in my opinion, it's like, okay, well, if we're wanting to step on stage, like, is Planet Fitness really the best option? If so, totally fine. But kind of like what Meg was saying, she swapped gyms because the vibe was no longer good. And obviously, if you're like beginner, like, okay, we're not worrying about vibes for crying out loud. We're worrying about
Yeah.
like exercise intensity and
Yeah.
the overall programming. But eventually, like you start to level up and you start to demand more from the environment, the people that train near you, and your equipment and stuff like that. But sending training videos, especially as an early on beginner, you will see so much more consistent progress because not only will you be learning how to exercise or execute the exercise properly, which will help to grow your muscle, but you also learn how to get locked in a lot sooner when it comes to those suck reps or the suck zone where your body's like, oh, it's too hard. I want to give up. But like, you have way more in the tank.
Yeah. And you said something good there because I also got another question yesterday. Somebody said like I can't remember exactly how it was put, but they pretty much said that their coach gave them a training plan and they're trying to find a gym that accommodates that training plan. And I'm
Mm,
like, okay, I see both ends because I'm like, a training plan should be built around you and what you have
mhm,
accessible. But you also have to realize, okay, what are your goals? Is your goal to step on stage? Like you said, like we
mhm.
need to find a gym that is going to help us level up as an athlete.
Yep.
So then I understand. But if you have to go out of your way to like purchase like a better gym because they're missing like half of the shit that that coach programmed, maybe the coach needs to reevaluate the program and make it accessible to you.
Mhm,
But if you are an athlete, maybe you need to get out of Planet Fitness, you know, because it will stall your progression eventually. Maybe not initially, but 6 months from now, yeah, you probably have to invest in a better gym. It's just part of the process.
mhm. Yeah, and I'm not knocking Planet Fitnesses or even
Oh,
rec
it's great.
centers.
Great.
I
They got
started there.
tanning, got the water beds. Dude,
They have the fucking power circuit. So if you only got 30 minutes, but you got like 10 machines, you
yeah. Oh God, don't do that. I won't get you anywhere.
When I get clients that first are like sending all their onboarding information and whatnot, and they say that they train from home, I'm like, okay, well, send me some videos. What do you actually have? And I'll be honest, if they're like, oh, I just have like, a couple dumbbells and a bar with some plates, I'm like, "Do you really want to train from home? Are you sure you want to do this?" Because I honestly think that that's really hindering for progress. I understand the convenience of it and whatever, and a lot of people went out and purchased equipment during COVID and they have it, so they want to use it. But there's a reason machines were built, especially for people that are new, because it's going to make, your exercise, your your movements a lot smoother. And like that's the whole point of machines is, takes a lot of the hindering variables out of the picture. So I think that even if you're going to have some of your training from home, I'd also get a cheap gym membership for having some of it at a gym as well.
Yeah. And
that
in the
bring oh,
beginning,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have like, well, I have two instances. I have one athlete who she has like a built up gym
Little
in her house, but she noticed that she couldn't get focused. Like she was taking
Mhm,
like 10, 15 minute breaks because she was going and doing something in the house and then coming back. And then she's like, okay, screw this. Even though I have all this accessible to me, I'm gonna get a gym membership so I can stay really locked in and focused. And
mhm,
then I have another athlete who she is a competitor, but she's older. Well, she has a young child, and I believe she works mainly from home, like remote. So we're keeping it at home for now, but I am slowly like adding in those remarks like, oh, we should probably consider like,
Yep.
looking into other gyms. Because you will stall unless you're gonna keep buying dumbbells, and man, those things get expensive.
Hmm.
Holy
I,
hell.
I think you make a good point with the motivation aspect of things
Oh
too.
yeah.
Just with distraction, but I
Dude,
think that it's a lot, especially for people like us that like you work from home, then you want to work out from home. Like you become a hermit. Like
I
you
couldn't
need
do it.
to like, get out of your fucking house.
Yeah. Even if like the gym at this apartment complex is like I could potentially do my upper body day for sure.
Once a
But
month, I got
yeah,
this.
I could do that. But I could do like a decent leg day here. They have a Smith machine and stuff, but it's like the focus, the
Hmm.
intensity, it wouldn't be there. So I know I have to get out of the house.
Hmm.
Nice for
But
cardio though, just to
oh
like get
yeah, they got a
Yeah.
Stairmaster, man. Yeah.
Hmm.
I
I
would
would like to talk about the point of if you are working out at home, like it's usually just that you were used to working out at home. It is very unlikely that you were training, right? It is very unlikely that you have that mindset differentiation because I see more often than not the people, usually it's females that are like, oh, I want to work out from home. And they have 5 pound pink dumbbells and they have a booty pan. And they're like, I'm set. And it's like, no, no. Like, this is not some like 20-minute Jillian Michaels, like get fantastic fucking abs by doing like, get breaking out the shake weight. You know what I'm saying? I have done that shit, right? I have worked
it.
out at home to lose weight. Absolutely. And I did it, right? But when we are talking about, especially stepping on stage and competing, you do not work out, you train. You have to be
Hmm.
focused. You have to have intention behind your training. You need to bring in that element where you are mentally locked in. And motivation and environment can be a huge asset in those instances where getting out of your comfort zone, going to a gym where you are like I don't want to say the shittiest person there with your physique, but like where you have people that are professional athletes or who are bigger than you, that can be a huge driver because they were once in your shoes too, right? So if they have done it, so can you. And I've heard this before, and I'm sure you ladies have too, where it's like you don't want to be the biggest person at your gym. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room because then you kind of limit your growth. I think that's a very, very valuable lesson to learn when it comes to no longer being a hermit, getting outside your comfort zone, and picking a gym that's a little bit intimidating. Like the step between a Planet Fitness and a rec center, and even something like a Crunch gym for me was holy shit, right? Because the Planet Fitness, it was just, let's be honest, it's a bunch of fat people on the treadmills. It's really what it was for my experience. But taking the step between that and Crunch, there were some people there that were definitely competitors and they were big and they were intimidating, but I needed that push. I needed to break out of my comfort zone and be in an environment where people were not just working out. No, 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 they were training. And then going into the gym that I currently train at, where it's almost exclusively power lifters, bodybuilders, really, really focused fitness enthusiasts.
Hmm.
You better bring up your A game. Even if you're having an off day, like it can be so motivating and so encouraging to see someone else fucking getting after it. You're like, yeah, like you want it for them. And then it's like they want it for you back. And I think that's so fucking cool, which is why I do love that community aspect as well.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely. Sorry. Didn't she say that Maya, her name's Maya, right? I'm so bad at names. Okay.
Mhm.
Didn't she say that she drove like a couple hours every weekend or every other weekend to that powerhouse or something, Bev Francis or something like that?
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, shit, just myself. I mean, we have decent gyms over here in Tampa, but to go over to like Revive to be around that atmosphere, it's a 3 hour drive, and I would do that,
Mhm.
if I wanted to. That's an option, and I've done it before. Um, so I think once you kind of get into that actual athlete mindset, then you start to shift. Like I have a girl on my team now, and she did one bikini show, but she wanted to level up her training, and she is up north, and she joined like Bev Francis, and she said, "Oh my God, like it's totally night and day, like difference, like in the mentality that you have walking into that place compared to LA shitness, you know? So it's totally game changer. So yeah, your gym, your environment definitely can make or break you, I think,
Mhm.
for sure.
Having some of the like more recent created equipment too, like you were saying, the belt squat, hip thrust machines, all those types of things that are like somewhat new within like probably the last 5 years or so, something like that, is not at every gym. And I think that it is really helpful for having, more recent and better architect equipment to work with too for your own physique.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It provides more tools to utilize, and it gives the aspect of having that variety without lack of being able to keep progression. For example, how many times have you received a text from an athlete being like, hey, the leg press is taken. What can I swap instead? Well, having a larger gym with more equipment, more different pieces gives that flexibility without, again, like, waiting 20 minutes for the broccoli head kid that's locking out its knees on the leg press.
Mm.
That's just on his phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's also a respect thing, right? It's a respect thing about having, enough equipment, enough availability when it comes to your training. And then speaking from personal experience, I had some type of injury where I couldn't load my spine. So that took out hack squat, took out Smith machine squat. But what did my gym have? Belt squat. It was
Mhm.
so nice to be able to still load and do similar loading patterns that my coach had programmed, even though he was, of course, willing to, change things up. But I could still train, right, while I was working on whatever needed to be worked on when it came to loading my spine. So it is one of those things where your gym environment can either help you or hinder you when it comes to your training.
Mhm. Yeah, and this isn't to say like you need the latest equipment available. Like you don't need the whole booty builder line at your gym. That's not
But
what we're.
it's nice.
It is nice. It's nice. But, if you live in a small town, like the likelihood of you having that accessible to you,
Mhm.
slim. But it also doesn't mean that you should pick the cheapest
Mhm.
gym available either. It's just um, you know, what you put in, you get out kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like if you pay $10 a month at a gym, you're probably not gonna get the best equipment. I mean, being real, I don't think people actually realize like how much gym memberships cost. I don't think anymore because or what they're willing to pay, I guess. Because I mean, in my 40, 75 for pros when I joined. Now it's up to 200 for Gen Pop. Makes no sense to me. I don't
What?
know why they pay that much. Yep. Gold's Gym, I pay 100. Optimum, I only pay 35, but I know their monthly membership's like 130. So that's pretty common, I'd say, 75 to 100 for most gyms. Here. I'm just saying
Keep her
here.
here.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Yeah. And you have to
wild.
put that into account in a show prep. People
Yeah.
don't realize that shit. And they're like, oh my God, I have no money. And I'm just like, well, you didn't really budget.
Well,
Like,
yeah, I mean, bodybuilding is, I don't think it's the most expensive hobby because I'm sure there's like
oh,
other things, but it is up there, like
it's
top
up there,
10.
man. Oh yeah. When
Yeah.
you consider labs, supplements, cycle stuff, fuck,
Coaching,
gym memberships. Dude, we could do a podcast all on that and probably scare a bunch of people out of prep. It's
stood.
expensive, man. No wonder a lot of bodybuilders have OnlyFans. Fuck.
Hmm.
I'm gonna start a fucking feet finder. I'm super
That's
about this
right.
shit.
That's right. I mean, yeah, this definitely is like a luxury sport. And
Oh
obviously,
yeah.
since things are getting super expensive, like I had no idea that a gym membership could be $200, especially for gym pop.
That's so fucked up that they do like, I mean, no offense, I get it
I think
or
it's
whatever they're trying to attract that, but like
Yeah.
that's a significant difference.
I
Hmm.
think the probably the pro membership is probably upwards of 85, 95
Hmm.
now. But yeah, I think it's like 189 monthly for non-pros. I don't like it. I don't like that.
go
I
there.
get
Like,
what they're doing, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a deterrent, right? Because imagine like some Gen Pop person like training next to Derek Lunsford, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But no, and I mean, Derek's opening a gym down here. Like, we're
oh,
about to get some
Oh
really good
shit.
gyms. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna
Damn.
be over near St. Pete, I believe, which I'm not gonna. I'll go on the weekends, but it won't be
Yeah.
like a regular, you know.
Hmm.
But
You
yeah,
won't be a huge.
I won't be a huge.
art.
Yeah, that is. But it is something that I think every competitor goes through when it comes to kind of graduating their training, graduating their gyms. And I don't want people listening to be like, oh, if I work out at a Planet Fitness right now, I'm not going to make any gains. Because of
Of
course not,
course not.
right? But kind of going back to the original topic of sending training videos, it is just so paramount to elevating your physique, right?
Mhm.
Learning, this is a big one that I think most people don't realize, learning how to take constructive criticism like a champ. So many people feel attacked when they get feedback from their coach on their
Mhm.
training. They take it to mean I suck. I'm
Mhm.
not good enough. And criticism is just that. It is just criticism. If you give it any type of implication on self-worth or validation, it'll rip you apart, right? We are bodybuilding. Like we are literally being judged while wearing a banana hammock or a bikini, right? Like you are literally being judged on how you look, which that is a very, very vulnerable thing to be able to do. But learning how to do training videos also gets you more comfortable with receiving that criticism, receiving that feedback, especially from someone who knows a lot more than you do. Because if your goal is to step on stage, I hope to God that when you do compete, you email the judges thanking them for their time, but also asking for feedback on how you, the athlete, can improve. That is such a valuable asset to have because unless you are the top level of Olympia, you have room for improvements, you know?
Yeah. That's a good point because I've had that happen where I've had athletes be like, I feel like I can never like, they always say like, please you. And I'm like, the fuck? This isn't about me. I'm
Mhm.
trying to help you. Like, and I always try to, I'm very good at this. I do my little sandwich thing, a good thing, something we can work on. And we do a little sandwich, and I don't want you to feel
I want a
bad.
Meg sandwich.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not trying to sugarcoat shit and say like, oh, this is a great set when it was shit.
Mhm.
Like we're trying to progress here. So yeah, I mean, if I send my training footage to you guys, I don't want you guys just hyping me up the whole time. I
Mhm.
want you telling me like, you could have controlled that better. Pretty
Mhm.
sure, Ash, you've done that to me on like hack squats. You're like, no, strip it down. Like, just control it today. Like, your strength
Mhm.
isn't there. That's fine.
Mhm.
And
Don't
like, it's
turn it into a
hard.
rest pause if it's not meant to be a rest pause.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Josh
I'm
says it to me all the time, and I'm like, you motherfucker. Okay, fine.
like,
But
exactly.
like that is
That's
so
so
good
true.
though. It is
That
so
is.
good because knowing your weaknesses is a huge asset. It
Yeah.
gives you an advantage because imagine if you were perfect at literally everything. Like as human beings, we crave purpose, but we also crave a challenge to improve upon. And it is very, very humbling to receive criticism, to receive that feedback. But at the same time, if you like just take it on your sleeve and don't let it like define who you are, your self-worth, oh my God, you now have something to work on as an athlete, right? You have a way that you can make progress and get better, whether it's, training intensity, whether it's overall engagement and setup. Like maybe when you start sending your coach videos, maybe you notice that like imbalance that you couldn't figure out in progress photos. Maybe you need to work with a physical therapist or something else, or do this mobility warm up, or this stretch. I'm just giving examples, but you have a chance to level up. And that is so freaking powerful because you will continue to get better if you work on the things that need to be worked on.
Yeah.
I actually had this exact conversation the other day with a client that was like, I don't understand that once I'm sending you training videos and my form is correct, why you're still telling me that I should be doing X, Y, and Z if the form is correct. I'm like, well, when you're sending training videos that
She's
you still
like,
have at least 7 fucking reps that you could have done, that's
mhm,
why. Like it's not just about your form, it's about your execution. Are you taking it as far as you can?
Mhm.
Like getting the most out of it. There's more to progressive overload than just nailing your form.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Like I've had that happen too. They're like, they send it to me for like, nah, let's say 2 weeks in a row. We get the form down. They're like, okay, should I keep sending you this movement or should I switch it up? And I'm just like, nah, we still got work to do. Like we can still improve your intensity. You're not pushing to failure yet, so let's just keep monitoring this. Sure, you can send another movement too.
Mhm.
But no, don't stop sending it, you
That's
know.
what I'll
I
usually
record all of my working sets. I have a working set in the power squat from a year and a half ago still on my phone. I'm still doing the power squat. Like, why do people think that th're different, you know? I don't.
Yeah, I think one of the most consistent bodybuilders who I would love to have on this podcast is Michaela Aycock, to the point of
They,
the same training time a year
yeah,
prior
yeah,
to where she was. And like,
dude.
as like it literally is speechless because it's like we talk about consistency all the goddamn time, right? We talk about
Mhm.
it. We have to be consistent and doing the right things. And here she is, a very successful, very high level competitor who you would think because of how great she is, she'd be tapped out, right? She would her growth potential as an athlete would be capped. No, it's just beginning because of the fact that she has a true athlete's heart and wants to constantly improve and constantly get better with her posing, her exercise selection, her exercise execution. And as someone who has still a lot more potential to give when it comes to my own bodybuilding journey, like that's damn motivating and damn inspiring.
Oh yeah. She's definitely somebody who I looked up to and still do to this day, you know. I mean, you follow her page back and like she used to train in, more commercial gyms and she still does occasionally, but she mainly trains like at her place where she has like there's not that much equipment. When we think about it, like we're like, oh, you need more equipment to progress. But at the same time, it's like you really just need bare bone equipment once you get to a certain point of intensity. Because she can make that hack squat fucking crazy. She can make a Smith squat like insane. Like you ever get athletes that you program the Smith squat and they're like, oh, I feel like that's so easy. Like, why are you programming a Smith squat? Like, why
Yeah.
don't we do barbell squat? And I'm like, go to failure on barbell squat. Let me see your form on barbell squat, Like,
And they're like kissing their knee on the way
oh my
down.
gosh, they're doing like good mornings coming up, and I'm just like, yeah,
It's
let's go use that Smith machine. Like, the fuck?
yeah, they look like a candy cane or like a dog taking a shit, because their erectors are just
Yeah,
yeah.
but she is so fucking inspiring, man. Even
Hmm.
if you're a bikini competitor, Ash. Like, we're wellness. Like, we can still look up to those women's bodybuilders because it's the mentality that we're
Hmm.
after. I mean, I know Ash, you want to be a big old bitch, but like, I don't want to be women's bodybuilder big personally.
Yeah.
I could, but I don't want to. That's why I'm going after wellness. But I still look up to Michaela like crazy. Like,
Hmm.
the work
God,
that
you just watch her
Yeah.
shit. I'm just like, oh, that was
Yeah.
so nice. And it's
Yeah.
just like her tempo going down. I'm just like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's
As a side tangent, just because that was so relatable. Eric and I were talking, and he's like, "When you are done competing, what do you think you will do?" And I was like, "Well, I will always be a bodybuilder at heart. Like that's not going to change." But I was like, honestly, I would love to see how big I can fucking get in terms of
insane.
overall muscle development and muscularity. And it's not going to be big. It's not like I hate to play the genetic card, but it's just my body doesn't like to put on a ton of size everywhere. Like it's taken me this long just to even grow a goddamn dump truck. You know what I'm saying? But like I still want to see how big I can get. I want to do more programming that's like on the realm of figure WPD, women's bodybuilding when it comes to upper back, lats, arms. Like I want a fucking arm day. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to shoot the shit and see. And I was like, and if you tell me I'm getting too big, and I'm like, you can shove it because I want to get bigger. But it was one of those things where I just think it's so beautiful to have a bunch of muscle. And I know this is a very like very, very special opinion that not everyone agrees, but I think it would be so damn sexy to just like walk around. That's my muscle mommy walk, which is walk around with like just being big. Like if I'm bigger than my husband, I'd love that shit. Rock him to sleep night, make sure he like takes a bubble bath, make sure he like ate all his foods, like total
Mark.
muscle mommy. Like just like fireman carry, like off to bed, pat, pat, pat his ass. But it's just
I'm dead. Okay, so Ash is a dommy mommy.
she is a
God
dummy
damn.
mom. Oh my God. But that's just a little side tangent. That made me think of Eric and I's conversation. He's like, how big would you want to get? I was like, as big as I fucking can get.
God. I haven't really thought about that because in my opinion, my bodybuilding career is just now beginning again.
Hmm.
Like it's totally different, like division. I've been off the pro league stage for five years.
Mhm.
I'd never even had a pro career yet. So this is my like chance to keep going. So I don't even want to think about that, man.
We were
My
just
years
shooting
after.
kicks. It wasn't like he was like, oh
Oh
yeah, you're
yeah,
gonna be
no,
done in a year, right? And it's like,
no.
no. He's just like, when you're done. I was like, well, when I'm done, just competing, right? Because I won't
Yeah.
want to be a competitive bikini athlete forever, especially if my goal is to grow a big old back, do actual rack pulls, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like fun speculation because every once in a while we'll just like, I don't know, talk about the future, normal married bullshit conversations.
Yeah, the future. I saw that picture though. It finally loaded. What is
Oh,
that?
did it? Finally,
Yeah, your
Jesus.
connectors. What's going on?
So
What's
that
happening?
was I had the consult with Maria from Goddess Glam, and that would be the gemstones with the connector for my suit.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I
ooh.
like it.
I do like that.
My
Is the
inspiration was blue and purple hydrangeas.
okay.
What do you want the color from like on stage to look like more so?
Darker blue and purple. Like I said, the blue and purple hydrangea was like my inspo photo because it's my mom and I's favorite flower. And I just love blues and purples when it comes to not wanting to wear black. So I thought this was a nice happy medium. As much as I love the color periwinkle, and I wish I had dark enough skin to pull that off, since I'm a very fair-skinned individual and my hair is not naturally black, I
Hmm.
thought darker probably would be a bit safer.
Yeah, I think that's gonna look sick. It's gonna
Hmm.
look nice.
Yeah.
I like
But
purple.
yeah,
Purplish blue. It's pretty.
it's safe. But speaking of cost, like $800-900.
Yeah, that's typical.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotta be selling some kidneys, I'm telling you. What do we got twos of? We got kidneys, we got adrenals.
Balls.
I
I
don't
don't
got
know.
I sold those already.
Hit each. Got two eyeballs. But kind of talking about that, the suit cost. Yeah, it can be expensive, but also don't blow your wad on a suit when this is your first season.
Hmm.
Like there's ways to rent a suit. Um, I mean, at the end of the day, you don't there's some nice like pre-made suits already that aren't like custom.
Mhm.
So I feel like people just get hooked on that custom suit shit way too early when they don't even know if they like bodybuilding or competing.
Or their favorite pros suit company, which is like high
Oh,
triple digits. Like I'm
well,
not bashing like Goddess Glam or Suits
yeah.
You, but like they are higher end bikinis where they're sponsored by pros. Pros wear them and they are beautiful. I'm gonna butcher this name.
Oh, 100%.
Swarovski crystals.
Swarovski.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful crystals on stage. My first show, I won a gift card from, oh shit, I can't think of her name. She was a really top Olympia bikini athlete. It was actually really cool that I won a gift card from her, but it was to Toxic Angels. And even with that $250 gift card, still, I think $600 for the fucking suit.
Oh yeah.
And because I already purchased a suit from a cheaper company called Val's. Believe it or not, I actually got more compliments on the Val's suit than I did the Toxic Angel.
Dude, when it comes to posing suits, I understand, especially for figure, you should get a figure posing suit. But I used a bikini and I tied the back like a like a figure suit.
Oh,
You know,
you're
there's
smart.
no, oh yeah, you can do that. And I might actually do a fucking reel on it because these posing suits nowadays, like somebody asked me in a question, they were like, you
I really.
know, where is it?
Mhm.
And where's it from? My suit. And I was like, fucking Shein. Mine's a bikini, legit from Shein, and it looks perfect. And it
Mhm.
was $6. And there's girl paint Bane. I mean, again, Toxic Angels, great. We have like a Scooby posing suit that you can purchase. And I send it to my athletes, but then I'm also like, mine's from Shein. So like
But also,
like their suit's like $160. And I'm like, put those monies towards your grocery bill and towards your
where's
actual
your
suit,
gym membership?
towards your
Jeez.
gym membership. Like you're working out at Planet Fitness wearing a $200 posing suit. What you doing?
Mhm. Mhm.
What's
I
wrong?
will say, I think in some regards, if you have the disposable income, I think there is something to be said about getting a posing suit with the suit company who you want to
Mhm.
have the stage suit when it
Yeah.
comes to the fabric and also the fit. Um,
Yeah.
because obviously there are different cuts of suit, at least for like, bikini and stuff like that, where your favorite pro might wear a micro cut, but you wear a micro cut and it's too much. So take that into consideration as well. But again, if you're stressing over like the whole entire cost of bodybuilding and you're like, oh, I have to get a practice posing suit, Shein
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
Walmart, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's no reason for you to wear a sports bra that's covering half your back and booty shorts if
And
you're a competitor.
honestly, that does not give the illusion of
No.
shape that you have
Mm-mm.
either. That even from like obviously your coach should be able to see, but it can be a little bit deterring as the athlete too to be like, oh well, X,
Sure.
Y, Z doesn't look the way it's supposed to. Well, maybe it looks a little better than you think it does.
Mhm.
The
Oh,
right,
for sure.
especially
That's
bottom side.
Yeah. That's why like I see girls like post they're practicing like in maybe like the group fitness room or something, and they're wearing like I've done it too. I pull my shorts up really high to like show my glutes and stuff. And it's not to show off your physique like for Instagram views, it's to see the muscle. Like if I kept my shorts down and hit a wellness back pose, it would look totally different than if I pulled them up and showed my upper glutes and showed my tie-ins, you know? It's not to show more skin or to get people to like look at you in the gym, it's to see your poses clearly. Like it does change the visuals 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to think when I actually invested money into a practice posing suit, a legitimate one,
Mhm.
and it was probably a year and a half ago when I went with Maria from Goddess
Mhm.
Glam. I got the purple one, right? And
Yeah.
mind you, I'm like, what, 5 years into when I just stepped on stage. So it's like, it's not a necessity, right? And if your coach is pushing that you have to have a posing suit or else you're not a real athlete, you're not taking
Posing
this
suit.
seriously. What's their discount code, right? It's like one
Yeah.
of those things where it's like a conflict of interest. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like kind of crappy, but at the same time, like a practice posing suit does not make you a bodybuilder.
Yeah. Facts. And like, sorry, but same. I love the Shoe Fairy shoes. I have them myself, but at the end of the day, my my good friend Jill, she got her posing shoes off of Amazon,
So
and
did
they look
I.
great.
Mhm.
I
I'm
actually
just
like
saying.
them better. I've had them both, and they're
That's
more
what Jill says
comfortable.
too. But one thing I do want to get from the Shoe Fairy is the nude heels for like going out. I've heard those are
Mhm.
really comfortable.
Mhm. I want to
I would
give
wear
my
heels.
my 3 cents because I've had shoes from Amazon.
Hmm.
I I don't know why I went with this company, but I literally Googled posing shoes, wide feet, because I just have honkers. I have chonkers for feet. Just is what it is.
Oh, the UK brand, right?
Compact, yes.
My compact.
So I've had Amazon, Compact, and Shoe Fairy. And I will say, Amazon, I think is great if you just want to get your feet wet, no pun intended, with posing and the whole bodybuilding thing. Is a very cost-effective way
Hmm.
to see what it's like to practice posing, do the competitive side of bodybuilding. Between Compact and Shoe Fairy, I will say, practically the same cost. Maybe Compact was a little bit more because of shipping from fucking UK.
Yeah.
Shoe Fairy wins hands down as comfortable, as so
Yeah.
fucking comfortable. Like it was almost unbelievable. And I kind of didn't believe it at first, but just to like make sure I wasn't being biased, I like put like the left of one and the right of one on the other. And I was like, oh wow. Like the
Yeah.
Shoe Fairy is so fucking comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No joke. I mean, it is. But if you're still testing the waters or you're like in an off season and you're going to be in an off season for 2+ years before you
Mhm.
step on stage, I mean, cut some corners with it. But if you
Mhm.
start your prep, invest in some good shoes and use those shoes throughout your prep. Oh my God. I have seen people like buy brand new posing shoes like a week out. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
Bro, it's
That's
like
like a
ice
ballet
skaters.
dancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like not breaking in your point shoes and just getting up on stage. It's like, what? I guess not many people get that, but like, what? No, you don't do that. You break those bitches in.
That's
I
right.
would actually, oh, sorry.
No, go
I would
ahead. Go ahead.
to get, if you like the Shoe Fairy and they work for you, whatever, get the Amazon ones as a backup because I personally
Oh
have had
yeah.
shoes actually break on show day and
Yes.
luckily had a second pair.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
I
think the
think
ones on Amazon are like $50.
Oh yeah, they're half the price. Half the
yeah, for
price.
sure.
Just while we're on the topic and before we, wrap things up, two hacks. If you're doing the strap, which I've had the strap and I think they're called mules where there's no strap.
Yeah.
Straps break super easily with
Mm.
constant use. It's just part of the thing. So it's not that if you buy a strap shoe, it's poor quality. It's just like every single time that plastic is not very pliable, so it can snap. I've used super glue to fix it. So backstage, if it breaks, super glue or have some type of like, I don't even know, like tape even just to like give you that stability could be very beneficial. The hair dryer hack is another good thing for us wide-footed gals where if you feel like your pinky toe like has like arthritis and they start like over, yeah, exactly. Meg knows. So it's like if your feet look
Yeah.
like this in your shoe, hair dryer, and it can help to like break apart the plastic and those fibers to make it
Mhm.
stretch. Super, super valuable.
Yeah. Dude, didn't I tell you Cameron like zoomed in on my toe once in my check-in photo and he's like, "What's up with your pinky toe?" Because it's literally whitish yellow because it's losing its circulation. It's like, yo, I'm deep as fuck in my off season. I'm using growth. My feet are a little fat right now. Like, mind your business.
Oh
Look at the
my
physique.
God.
He legit
You
zoomed in
start,
on
send,
my toe, and I'm just like,
start sending
did me
check-in
dirty.
pictures with emojis over her feet.
Oh my
I
God.
might. I might. No free toes, not even to my coach, apparently.
That's so funny. Yeah, I mean,
They
like
look bad.
deep
Did
in
you drop
off
your food?
season.
Huh?
Did you drop
Yeah,
your food last
he
week?
did.
You're
He
like, I just
pulled
want to
40
fucking
grams.
starve.
40 grams of carbs. I'm starting to feel like I'm dieting, but my weight's not going down. But I'm looking tighter for
Mhm.
sure.
Boy,
Like I wake up and I have like leg veins like all over the place. And I'm just like,
I love that.
this is fun. Excited.
Love
But it's not fun because last night I think I had my last meal at like 7:30 or 8 p.m.
it.
We
Mhm.
went to Walmart, we came back home, and I think Will ate something. And I was sitting there and I was like, I want to eat more food, but I couldn't. So I think I had like, we got this like, I will never say you should do this, but like the Nerds, they make drink flavoring, Nerds powder,
No shit.
like 5 calories. So I took a sip of his, so I might have some of that to curb my cravings if it gets that bad.
I use the
But
little Mio squirties.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, and I made little popsicles with New Ethics made like this new, it's like lemon ice or something,
Mhm.
Prosorb, which is like the magnesium. So I made them into little popsicles, and that's what I had when I got home. So
That's
Hmm.
so
there's a
cute.
way to do it, guys. I would have
I feel
rather
like
had a bagel, but it's fine.
I feel like Chip would love those little like popsicles or some shit.
Yeah, they get the little pup cups. So
Yeah. I don't know
it's just,
why this reminded me just because dogs, but Eric's taking this supplement. This is just totally fucking random. Eric is taking the supplement to help pull excess iron from his system because he is
okay.
someone that has just higher iron, higher ferritin due to some issue that we're working on figuring out. Not like hematocritosis high, but high enough where it's like concerning, you know? And so he's taking the supplement. I was looking at some of the reviews just for shits and kicks. And people were like, this supplement cured my dog's cancer. I,
Well, shit.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's a pill. They're big pills. I'm like, how are you forcing this down Fido's mouth? Are you sticking it up its ass? Like, how is this dog
Depository
taking
style.
this pill? And how do you know it's properly dosed? Like, are they going to according to the bottle directions? Because I guarantee you that it's meant for humans, not for dogs. But they're like, yo, yeah, it cured my dog's cancer. And not just one, multiple reviews.
Interesting.
I mean, at that point, people are probably like, fuck it, I'll try it. See what happens.
Yeah.
It's a Cell Forte IP6 and inositol, in case people are interested. It helps with your natural killer cells. So, I mean, like, it's not marketed to cure cancer, especially in dogs, but it also helps to pull iron. So I learned that fun fact and wanted to share that, guys, with you. So
What do
Interesting.
you have for questions? I've been looking forward to all week.
I had them. Guys, this is how much I love my questions. I dreamt I had questions. I meant to write the questions down from the dream and like didn't. And so the only one that I remembered that I put on my notepad is, what is your favorite poor meal? And what I mean by that, like, think of the poorest time that you've ever been, college, maybe just like early childhood, whatever. What is your favorite poor people food?
I mean, I don't think it's a poor person food, but it's something that I think slaps booty cheeks. Cucumber sandwiches?
Like with
No.
cream cheese
Uh,
or just
you
like
just
you?
do, yeah, like white bread, legit,
Okay.
just white fucking bread, like Wonder Bread, put some cucumber slabs, a little cream cheese, a little
Okay,
salt,
cream cheese.
and that's it. Or fucking Vienna sausages out of a can.
That's a
Mm.
good one.
Oh yeah.
In college, I used to do a giant tray, like the tray that you put into your oven type thing.
Yeah.
Cut up
Okay.
potatoes, then breadcrumbs on top of the potatoes, spray seasoning, and eat the whole fucking tray. That was the meal, the whole tray.
So Laura just had
Okay.
carbs.
Yeah, that was my vegetarian.
Breaded potatoes.
Breaded potatoes.
That was when the sausage stir fry was also in it.
God.
I was about to ask, was that pre or
Sausage
post sauce?
stir fry.
Hot dog stir fry. Don't make it sound bougie. Bitch, it was hot dogs. Hot
Yeah.
dogs stir fry.
Well, they were fake hot dogs, but yes.
Faux dogs. Faux glizzies.
What's
Um,
your
so I have two. So fully I will own that, like, we were just like kind of on the struggle bus for a while. Spam. Do y'all know what spam is?
I
Yeah.
thought, yeah, that's Hawaiian oriented or
Yeah.
originated, isn't it?
Well, okay,
Mhm.
well, we were just poor. So we had spam. We would do spam salads or spam sandwiches, but canned spam. Like, I could tell you everything about that fucking can with how much we spent on spam. Another poor meal, and this was more on my dad's side than my mom. So my mom was the spam, and my dad made mac and peas. And if you don't know what mac and peas is, it's you make Kraft mac and cheese according to package directions, like the powdered cheese, and then you just throw in frozen peas, and that is your meal.
Okay.
Yeah. Mac and cheese is one of those dishes
I
that people put
love.
weird shit into that
Yeah,
you don't
first.
like. You do peas. The other day at dinner, Josh's dad was talking about how he puts like sauteed onions into it. And when I was a
Mhm.
kid, my mom used to put tuna into it. And like, yeah, I don't know. And then you get lobster from some places. You go get mac and cheese with lobster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You can make it super like trashy and super fancy
Mm.
Yeah.
for sure. I
So
have a
I have
question.
one. I've
Oh,
got a
go.
question.
You go first.
So
Ooh.
if you had to choose to either reach whatever your bodybuilding goals are that can be achieved within the next 5 years,
Uh-huh.
or stay exactly where you are currently, no backwards, forwards, maintenance,
Mhm.
and never have to worry about finances ever again for the rest of your life, what will you choose?
Hmm.
I would pick the first one only because finances is always to some extent, especially with like my childhood background, is going to be like a concern, right? And although maybe it would be nice to have that concern lifted, financial stress would be nothing in comparison to knowing I will always look this way. Like the fact that I could not progress in the way that I wanted. Like for me, that would just destroy my mental health. I would much rather stress over money while making progress than stay stagnant and, have a fucking butler wipe my ass. That's a good
I
question.
don't know. I like financial freedom. I think I look pretty good.
If
I'm
I
pretty
was Meg, I
confident.
would I
I'm
would choose
pretty
financial
confident in
freedom.
my physique. I mean, I do want to achieve way more with my bodybuilding,
Mhm.
but damn, man, financial security. Oof.
I wanted a question that you were like, fuck. That's where I
Yeah,
went.
Yeah. What about you?
I think I take the money.
yeah,
I
money.
get that.
You
I
know, I'm gonna full circle it, make you guys feel like pieces of shit because I said it and you didn't. I would take the money and put it back into the sport. Fuck you guys. You don't care about the sport, really. You just care
That's
about
right. You're
yourself.
fake.
Well, see, my reasoning for picking what I did, and I figured we'd all kind of have different inputs on this, is
Hmm.
I mean, I'm at a point where I wouldn't say like I'm at peace with myself. Am I like
Yeah.
ecstatic? No. Do I hate myself?
Yeah.
No. But knowing that I want a family in the near future, my thoughts is more so than not be financially stressed to be able to take care of everybody else.
Yeah. Feel that. Feel
For
that.
sure. For sure. But I think
Okay.
all of our answers are very telling of like where we're at. Because like obviously Laura's like pursuing like the family route eventually. Financial freedom totally makes sense, right? It makes sense to have that security net. Meg, big old bitch, like looks the best she's ever looked in terms of her physique, right? Can, calmly say, even though she hasn't even had her wellness pro debut yet, like she's proud of the work that she has done and would rather take the financial freedom, put it back into the sport or put it back in other avenues, maybe pay off some chiropractic debt. I don't
Fuck
know.
off, man. Why'd
Buy
you
a
have to say
car.
that? Dang. God
And for
dang.
me, like I would rather eat my mac and peas and be and have put cubed up spam in it just to
Uh,
have like more muscle because it to me finances like it's always going to be there. More money isn't going to make me happy, and if the worst that my life is struggling financially, that's just to me it's not such a bad stress. Like it's a stress, don't get me wrong, but like there could be more other things. Like you weren't like, oh, what about your health? You know what I'm saying? Because
Fuck, I should have done that.
you're like, yeah, look good or feel like
Die
shit.
tomorrow. Or
All right. I have a question.
Yes.
What is your favorite smell?
Ooh,
Mhm. You can
ooh.
do two if you can't think of one.
I have so many
good.
smells.
I know. Anyone?
Oh, okay. You know
Go
that
for
like
it.
I gotta
you
think.
cleaned lemony fresh scent.
Okay.
Things
Yeah.
clean. Love
Mhm.
that.
Okay. Ash.
I would have to say this is gonna sound so gross. This is gonna sound so gross, and people are gonna judge me for it. But y'all know, not stank, but man musk, where it's like the working hard, not like the ball sweat stank, not that. I mean like the under armpit musk, where it's like their pheromones, right? That to
Uh-huh.
me, one of my favorite like fucking scents because it's like a hardworking man. It's like, a little bit of that elbow grease, and it's like the pheromone of like sexual attraction that like is like, oh, he's right.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. Like, I don't know if it's like a primal thing, an evolutionary thing, but I smell that and I'm like, this one's fertile. I like that. And I don't know why. It's really fucked up, but I smell that and I'm like, I
The
see you.
polar opposite of what I just said.
I know
Yeah.
Laura's like,
Yeah.
I like lemon pledge. And I'm over here like, Dommy mommy. I like, give it to me raw. Jesus.
Meanwhile,
I
I
was
would be like,
gonna
can
say
you
the
go
fucking like bread aisle. I like the bread
take a
aisle.
shower and come back?
Like
I
the
also
bread
like freshly
aisle.
mowed grass. That's my normal people answer.
I like the bread aisle. That's
Yeah.
just good.
Mm,
Bread
freshly
aisle's a
baked.
good one.
Hmm. Or like, oh man, what's another one? There's this one specific type of marker that just smells so good. It's like a Sharpie, so I think it's like a huffing thing that I have
Yeah,
an issue with, but like it smells good.
for
That
sure.
and then this may sound really fucking weird, but like baby smell, like newborn baby
Hmm.
smell. You know what I'm talking about when I say like old people smell?
Yeah.
Yeah, like not like they piss themselves or shit
Right.
themselves. Not that. But like old people smell. I don't know how
Mhm.
to explain it. I don't know. But I think bread aisle takes the yeah.
Bread
There,
Howl's a
there's
good
a
one.
Bread aisle's good.
no connection to the old people smell.
No, I kind of went all over the place there. Bread, huffing Sharpies, and old people. I don't know.
I mean, there are sense where it's like if it means something to you.
That's
Right.
what I'm thinking of, like to your grandmother or something like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Bread
Yeah.
Isle's a good one. I kind of wish that was my answer instead of man musk, because now people are gonna be like,
Yeah, I mean,
Judged.
disclaimer, this does not mean y'all should stop wearing fucking deodorant. Like if it is at the gym, it is 95 degrees. Put on shit. Put on. I don't want to smell your man musk at the gym because I man musk, that's man stank.
yeah, there is a difference. I understand what you're saying. I understand
Mhm.
what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Man,
good. We need to start doing this at the end of each one. Each one of us, like one or two.
little
Yeah.
question. Hell yeah.
Popcorn round.
All
And of course,
right.
if our listeners have questions that are like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Cool.
All right.
Well, happy
Well,
4th of
shit.
July.
Happy 4th. Enjoy a glizzy.